The president is standing there and gets asked, what will your legacy be? What's your focus for the second term? And he says, I want to be remembered as a peacemaker. And you added, and unifier.
I think he's unifier. He's unifier not just here in the United States, but around the world.
So since Donald Trump, quote unquote, took down the temperature, an ICE agent on video threatening, you raise your voice, I erase your voice.
Oh, that's gonna hurt!
As Melania Trump took the stage on the Five with a solution to America's divisions that was, shall we say, about as helpful as her husband providing directions to Green/Iceland. But what makes it a bit better, right, is knowing that just a few minutes earlier, Jessica Tarlov was on the same network publicly roasting Donald Trump for not lowering the national temperature, essentially pointing out the very thing Melania claimed to be addressing is the thing her husband refuses to change.
Like that. And the idea that we are just going to move past what has unfolded over the last few weeks, including what happened to Renee Good getting 3 bullets in her, and start talking again about how Democrats are the problem.
First, let's talk about Melania Trump's appearance in her segment on Fox News The Five, promoting her new film that one critic has said, even if this was shown on a plane, people would walk out. But aside from that, the First Lady offered what she described as a step towards healing America's divisions. At one point, she talked about the need for, quote, understanding and listening.
It's great to have you. Something struck me in the trailer. So the president is standing there and gets asked, what will your legacy be? What's your focus for the second term? And he says, I want to be remembered as a peacemaker. And you added, and unifier. And I'm curious as to what role you play in that, or what your designs are for how you can help facilitate that, because there's no question that the country needs a lot of unifying at this moment.
Yes, it does, but I think he's unifier. He's unifier not just here in the United States, but around the world. He stopped many wars, and as well here in the United States, it's a lot of opposition. And that's the problem, right? So the people not agreeing with everything what he does, and they just need to come on the same page and see that he wants to make America only safer and better.
Hear that, Jessica?
But if anybody knows Donald Trump, those are two things that he just exudes, right? You know, how he's listening to the wants of the American people regarding ICE.
It looks very untrained. It looks unprofessional. It looks very chaotic.
Taxpayer dollars should be used to address the affordability crisis here in the United States of America, which is very real. It's not a hoax. It's ongoing, by the way. Taxpayer dollars should not be used to brutalize or kill American citizens or to violently target law-abiding immigrant families. So there are a variety of reforms that need to be put into place that the American people are demanding. Your own poll has shown that everyday Americans have concluded that ICE has gone too far and that behavior needs to be reined in.
Or the wants of the American people regarding their will to annex Greenland.
On the Epstein files, look at that. Just absolutely awful. 38 points below water. But any try to buy Greenland is somehow even more unpopular. Look at this. It's 40 points below water. There is barely an issue out there that's worse for Donald Trump than the Epstein files. But any attempts to buy Greenland or use military force on Greenland, which even polls worse than this, is one of them. It is arguably the most unpopular thing that Donald Trump can try to do is mess with Greenland.
Or focusing on the economy that he drove headfirst into a tree.
New jobless claim numbers are out. They are higher than expected. About 209,000 people filed for unemployment benefits last week, which is a small drop from the week before, but it still is above forecast.
Now, here's where I feel that Murdoch had a hand in ensuring that Trump got the message that he's been trying to send via countless hit pieces in the Wall Street Journal. Because rotating contributor Jessica Tarlov, a staunch Trump critic and often solemn voice of sanity, was on the panel just moments before Melania joined them. And she said something direct and unignorable, that Trump has repeatedly failed to take down the temperature in American politics, despite having ample opportunity to do so. And that his continued stoking of divisions is not leadership, it's escalation.
So since Donald Trump, quote unquote, took down the temperature, an ICE agent on video threatening, you raise your voice, I erase your voice. You have agents trying to get into the Ecuadorian embassy because they think they can round up some illegals there. That's illegal based on international law. Told by someone who works at the consulate, back up. He says, if you touch me, I'll grab you. Kyle Cheney at Politico has been tracking the cases of folks who have been detained, found 2,300 cases since July alone where the judge has ruled that ICE has illegally detained someone like that. And the idea that we are just going to move past what has unfolded over the last few weeks, including what happened to Renee Good getting 3 bullets in her, knowing that she was alive for 8 minutes after that happened, but didn't receive medical care, or what happened to Alex Preddy over the weekend, and start talking again about how Democrats are the problem. And it's all of you guys organizing online and your vast conspiracy to make sure that all the bad hombres can stay here. We don't want bad hombres to stay here. We want regular hombres who may have entered illegally but are living good, productive lives in America, a lot of them with American children, to be able to stay, and also for American citizens to not be detained and also to not be shot.
See, while Trump and his allies have promoted the idea that he is the one who, quote, feels the pulse of the nation, that he speaks for the anger of everyday Americans, just listen to what those everyday Americans are saying regarding the current president.
ICE efforts to deport illegal immigrants. If we ask folks out there, too aggressive, 59%, not aggressive enough, 17%, about right, 24%. That tracks with other polls that we've seen in recent days surrounding a lot of this video that obviously has come out, and there's all kinds of people weighing in on all sides.
Yeah, Brett, I think that's right. It does track with the other polls. And it suggests that while the administration is within its limits, its legal limits in this immigration crackdown and the dragnet that's going on, particularly out in Minnesota, it has hit its political limits. And the Republic's response to what it is seeing on its TV screens and reading about in publications and so forth suggests that people, you know, they want the border closed, they want criminal illegals rounded up, but they see these scenes in the street, particularly the 2 killings in Minnesota, and they see, you know, people who seem otherwise innocent, although they may be here illegally, rounded up. They don't like that. We have a compassionate people, and even illegal immigrants are not beyond the scope of that compassion. And I think the administration is being seen as having gone too far on this, and the polls certainly suggest that.
Yeah,
there is a clear and obvious disconnect between what this administration wants the American people to believe, that they are pivoting towards healing and the president is the calm head at the helm, versus the reality. His administration's own rhetoric continues to inflame divisions.
The White House has labeled the man who was killed in Minnesota as a domestic terrorist. Is that something you agree with? And have you seen any evidence to back up that claim?
When you perpetuate violence against a government because of ideological reasons and for reasons to resist and perpetuate violence, that is the definition of domestic terrorism. This individual who came with weapons and ammunition to stop a law enforcement operation of federal law enforcement officers committed an act of domestic terrorism. That's the facts.
Where's the evidence of his ideology, though?
Another individual is dead at the hands of Border Patrol. Let's be clear. We do not know if there was any pushback from this individual who was armed. We do not have evidence that he was waving a gun, doing anything to threaten Border Patrol. He had his phone and he was shooting. He was viewing and recording the incident. That's what he was doing, recording the incident. Mm-hmm. What is your reaction? And you are an elected official. What can you do about it?
And Melania can step in front of the camera on Fox News and offer generalities about division and understanding. But her husband's actions are the antithesis of everything that she is trying to portray here.
Minnesota, way down, even though everything's a fight, you know, because they want to keep those people that are lying on the floor. They want to keep those people in Minnesota, but they really don't. I don't think the real people of Minnesota, it's a very corrupt place, and the elections are totally corrupt. I feel I won it all 3 times. Nobody's won that state since Richard Nixon. It's a rigged state. And the Somalians vote as one group, even if they're not citizens, and they vote as one group, and, you know, you get 600,000 votes against you. They all ought to get the hell out of here. They're bad for our country.
They are ICE and CBP. are breaking their own protocols. You read them earlier, their own protocols, and not only roughing people up, but literally shooting at people and killing them, when in some cases they're U.S. citizens and they're doing nothing wrong. So this is why I have said that the president is not following the law, why Kristi Noem needs to resign or be impeached, and why Tricia McLaughlin should not have the job that she has. She's a pathological liar. She's their spokesperson.
Governor, you just...
And kudos to Jessica Tarlov for pulling no punches, knowing that not only was she doing so behind enemy lines on Fox News, she had the First Lady waiting on deck.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.